A father and daughter touch down on a poisonous planet, hoping to mine some dangerous alien gems. And soon, they've got trouble with some other motivated miners. Hello and welcome to Not Now in Theaters. I'm Will Turntail, and this is my review for the sci-fi thriller Prospect. Prospect is a science fiction thriller where scrappy citizen astronauts use minimalist space tech to try and last the day in a profiteering new frontier. But as if life was imitating art, making the film was like a DIY project. Through Kickstarter, movie makers Zeek, Earl, and Caldwell raised $21,000 to make a sci-fi short. After the short was a hit on Vimeo and made an impression at the 2014 South by Southwest conference, Earl and Caldwell convinced Braun Studios to finance a feature-length version. Now armed with $4 million, Earl and Caldwell moved into a shipbuilding warehouse, hiring an oddball, quote, art collective of carpenters, mechanics, industrial designers, and cosplayers to help them build costumes, ships, and weapon props. And the newbie filmmakers had a secret weapon up their sleeve. Through agent connections, they cast the acting darling of the moment, Pedro Pascal, in a leading role. Though Prospect saw a minor theatrical release, it eventually found its way to US Netflix. There's actually a Reddit thread I linked here in the transcript where Earl himself was talking about that process. Given the humble origins, the approximately 6-year journey to get this film made and released is applause-worthy. And critical and audience feedback has generally been happy days. You can find the film at a healthy 89% critics, 73% audience score at time of writing on Rotten Tomatoes, or a Reddit thread or two writing love letters to the movie from time to time. But I don't always surf on the tide of public opinion. So is Prospect a good movie? The plot of Prospect. Sometime in the future, humankind develops space technology that enables planet exploration. Down on their luck, teenager C and her father Damon disconnect their pod from a space shuttle. They touch down on a forest moon. Donning spacesuits, C and Damon head out, mining for Auralac gems, a rare and valuable resource. But the moon's poisonous atmosphere is not the only danger lurking in the woods. C and Damon have landed off course, and when they head for their destination, they encounter suspicious prospectors Ezra and Number 2. Soon, circumstances force young C and the mysterious Ezra into a shaky truce. The pair must cooperate for profit and passage off the moon. Will C and Ezra survive? And walking you through the cast of this fine film, C is played by Sophie Thatcher, Damon by Jay Duplass, Ezra by Pedro Pascal, and Number 2 by Luke Pitzrick, I think is how you pronounce it. The rest of the main cast is here in the transcript. So what's good about Prospect? Well, the first thing that's going to stand out to you is the film's understated future tech, which is worth a staggering 10 points. I can't remember the last time I gave something 10 points. Either I'm feeling too generous or something good is going on here. Anyhow, Prospect is another entry in the lived-in sci-fi category, where the technology is advanced but uncomplicated. But the designs ditch the grease, coveralls, and exposed metal railing of Alien or Outland for a far future analog chic worthy of a Pinterest pin. C and Damon touch down in a no-frills pod shaped like a latte cup, and their tools for mining Auralac, a strange orb cut from living plants, seem out of any space station's hardware store. The well-dressed janitor spacesuits are equally worthy of a repair mission, spacewalk, or fashion show catwalk. And there's a low point in the production values when what looks like a static painting or backdrop of a planet pulled me out of the film, but this forgivable few seconds is probably a product of a low budget. Next up, it is the film's strong performances, which adds 5 points. Sophie Thatcher's C is button cute but hardened and streetwise. Or is it planet-wise? No doubt she's been influenced by a life of weary travels, scraping odd jobs on a tour of duty through the galaxy's not-so-finest locales. Thatcher's performance effectively balances C's fear, courage, and youth. She hesitates, bristling with fear, when her father orders her to point her gun at Ezra. But she snaps herself into courage at other challenging moments, only to fall into the girlish glee of a teen and wax lyrical about her favorite book series. Pedro Pascal's Ezra dons a clothy-looking brown spacesuit like the hoodie of the future. Like a southern gentle thief of space, he unwinds his words with a slippery throwback charm and dignity. His vocabulary more educated than you'd expect, and delivered slightly formally. Friend or foe, Ezra lives by his own code of honor, always open to negotiation. Pascal's performance could have easily slipped into embodying Tuco, from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and becoming too cartoonish. But he plays Ezra straight enough not to sink it, his quirkiness just a touch oddball over full-blown scallywag. And this next good thing is called no technical manual, adding 2 points. Rather than heavy-handed dialogues or scenes just for exposition, the explanations around this film's technology are baked in. Clips pop out of the throwers, aka guns, and get placed in a little generator with a hand crank to reload them. We watch the labored process of mining Auralac, cutting away dangerous living plant matter from the ground, using a variety of solutions to make it safe, and cutting the gem with a skilled hand. In an intelligent choice, the film trusts the audience to see how the technology works, instead of dull exposition dumps. This is a space exploration as a new blue-collar frontier. And it works. Next, it is no thanks, I brought my own terminology, adding a point. The film creates its own slang. Guns are throwers, characters spend time out in the green. The future slang is a deft little writing touch that elevates the world building of the film. And now for the film's fun setup, Dangerous World, adding 2 more points. The movie forces would-be foes to cooperate, which plenty of films have done before, like Assault on Precinct 13, Enemy Mine, or 3:10 to Yuma. Yet, thanks to the characters, there's enough originality here to keep the setup of competitors forced to work together engaging. The story paints a bleak world. Every encounter with another human is a chance to barter for supplies or even human lives. There aren't any peace and love-seeking settlers in Prospect's universe. It creates a future you can believe, where humankind's worst threat in space isn't rugged terrain or poisonous air, just other humans free of supervision. And the last positive point goes to dig them leaves and trees. The words forest moon bring to mind Endor, from Return of the Jedi. Still, the lush world here lacks cuddly teddy bear Ewoks and is filled with floaty insects and unseen swirling poison. The movie swaps Jedi's Northern California for a private land trust adjacent to Olympic National Park, Washington. Long shots of the characters set against natural ferns and swooping trees are captivating and add to the feeling of isolation. And it's an inspired choice for marooned characters, right? I mean, being space stuck usually means exile to a barren waste of a rocky desert planet, so the lush forest setting is a big change here, one you can get behind. So what did I think could be better about Prospect? Well, it's actually just one thing, but it's a big one. We'll call it, can we turn up the volume on the characters? And it will remove 5 points. Oh, and a warning, the spoiler alerts here. If you don't want this part of the movie ruined for you, as in a big part of the movie, you can go ahead and use the chapter skip. Okay, the low-key style is fun for the technology and aesthetics, but the subdued vibe leaks into the characters too, and it hurts the film. Damon and C's father/daughter dynamic is underdeveloped. We learn he's a single father, a functioning drug user struggling to provide in a difficult age, it seems. But what are C's specific feelings toward him? We only get a little of the picture. So when Damon is killed, we don't feel the loss like we could have if we understood more about the relationship. C copes with it in a way a teenager could, finding shelter in music and wall art with her used food wrappers. But is this really grieving? And when she enters her partnership with Ezra, he could become a new mentor or father figure. We get enough of them working together, like C having to amputate his arm, to show that they are developing a trust. But why specifically would C bond with Ezra? Could he have qualities she always wanted in a dad? The movie had opportunities to tap a little deeper into these characters' bonds, but didn't quite take it. So adding everything up, Prospect scores 16 points. On my scale of let's not watch, should I watch or go watch this movie, this is a definite go watch rating. A debut feature that journeyed from crowdfunding to mainstream release, Prospect has all the trimmings and setup of a fine film. Its production values create a nifty sci-fi aesthetic, its clever setup gives it tension that lasts to the conclusion, keeping the viewer entertained, and the performances superpower the show. It lacks the character-building nows to create a true spellbinding classic, but this is a definite watch for sci-fi fans. And for those who love straight drama, this is grounded enough to enjoy. All of this watchability on a modest budget is an immense achievement. And hey, the whole movie is available right now on the Shout Studios YouTube page if you want to go watch it. So fly me to the moon, let me mine among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on a forest moon that scars. Okay, that's all I have to say about Prospect. Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe for more wherever you're listening from. New episodes of this podcast usually come out weekly. Next, I am hoping we can finally get to hyper-crazy Korean action film The Villainous, but it might be Don Coscarelli's film adaptation of John Dies at the End instead, which I'm sure has some fans out there too. That's all for now, and I'll see you next episode. This podcast episode is a production copyright of Overegged Media LLC, located in Sacramento, California. Reference photos linked in the transcript are copyrighted by the Internet Movie Database. This review's factual information was gathered through online sources like Wikipedia, IMDb, or interviews. Misrepresentations and errors are possible, but unintentional. The introduction music was Neon Laser Horizon by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And the exit music and additional music, well, actually, the exit music is Voxel Revolution, and the additional music is I Can Feel It Coming, Rising Game, and Overriding Concern. And all those tracks are also by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. They are also licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. See you next time.